Hi Tobias, I mean it's so nice to see you here and welcome to Pop-Up Zone that we are doing like very short interviews. Actually, I took many notes from your talk today, but especially that you mentioned about architects are privileged to ask questions and even visualize them. So this is really stuck on me. So I have a question for you about where do you envision especially lava as an agent making a difference in the future?
Well, as I said, architects have a privilege that they can build environments where other people have to deal with, but we can also ask the question to people up front, like, how do you really want to live? How do all of us want to live? And I think what I realized more and more is that, yes, architecture is all about creating spaces for people, spaces where people feel good, where people can interact. But what we have to work on is also to really, before we build something, to really create, to test the ideas. And that's something I think will be more and more like the think tank idea, the laboratory, testing ideas, working with people, understanding if that's something desirable or not, and then implement it. That's something which we'll do more and more.
And also you mentioned one of the projects, like, I mean, many projects, but the Master project, because it's also, I would like to ask how important is to capture the public's awareness or engagement for a project, because sometimes they didn't visualize it, how it's going to happen after maybe 50 years later. So, I mean, there's a kind of vision that you have to engage with the public, right? I mean, it is hard.
Well, years ago was talk about the iconic turn that everything happens with images, and you really need images to reach the public. So one thing is to ask a question, but then we can not just ask questions, but we can also propose visual potential answers. So we can create potential futures and say, is that something you could imagine, or how is it with this? And then we engage a discussion. These images are very, very important for that. And what architects are good at is to produce visuals. Now we have artificial intelligence that will help a lot. The question there is, I mean, it's also you need to curate it. You also need to have an idea where you want to go. It's not that you type something and you get something. Actually, that's exactly what it is. You get something, but it's probably not exactly what you had in mind. Yeah. So you have to start somewhere and then engage in a process. So it will be even faster to create different images of potential futures. But we also have to find a way of evaluating it and sorting it out. So there is the possibility that with every image you create, that in the end AI leads to the same sort of images all over the place. So that means you need somebody again to ask questions and to really say, what are the images? What is the source, the archive from which you can take images?
Yeah, you are right. And also, I want to wrap up the conversation. Are there any other creative territories that you want to explore? New projects or like exciting research, I don't know.
No, we're constantly exploring topics, of course, and so we're working on a big scale, which is also something architecture is great, is that you can work simultaneously on very different scales. So from product designs basically to city systems, and that's something we'd really like to work with. I think personally what I think the combination of high tech and low tech, so doing something by hand, but also using digital tools which are available. That's something which I'd like to integrate in the process much more. So there's in every stage of the process, there's always like you do something by hand, but then you test it with a computer or the other way around, but that's always in parallel.
I see. And maybe for you, how do you be remembered for as a person?
That's a difficult question. I think that's better to ask other people about. But
No, I mean...
No, I think as somebody who's like, who loves actually working with people and is always interested in asking questions about the broader picture. What is the context in which we're actually discussing all of this? Yeah. So you start thinking about it, but you have to find the clue yourself, but somebody needs to trigger the search.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.